Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. The stock market is open, so you already know we are buying assets and we are adding stocks to the portfolio. We made some massive moves in the account. I am trying to bring this account to a whole new level. As you know, if you started with me from the very start, the goal, we have been inching it up slowly, $100 a month, $250 a month, $500 a month. We hit $500 a month, and now we have our eyes set on $1,000 a month in pure passive dividend income. And I'm doing it in a new way. And it's going to be kind of interesting. We're going to go through the journey together, but I'm doing 20,000 or 21,000 or so of my original cash, and then I'm also using some Robinhood margin. And we are going to get this snowball rolling even faster. So this week I made a lot of purchases. We received a bunch of dividends, and we have a bunch on deck. I spent $4,300 on buying assets, and let's talk about what I bought and what I plan to do. So if we scroll down, we get all the way to the start of August. Last week, as you know, we added some new funds, and that was QDTE and XDTE. They are weekly dividend paying stocks that sell on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. They sell covered calls, and they take that income and they pass it through as dividends. So we received our first payment from those. You can see right here, $2,500 on July 31st, $2,500 on of QDT and XDT on July 31st. And then we received our first dividend payment. So these are some of the other payments we've received. Glad, Devo, QQQY had their split. And then we started off August. So this week, or I guess I should say last week, but between the last video and this video, we bought $1,000 worth of MSTY. We bought $500 worth of NVDY, which is one we already owned. We just added to it. We bought $500 worth of CONY. We got assigned on that BITO put that we were trying to get assigned on for a couple of weeks. So we added 100 shares there at the 23 price. And then we also, let's see, bought right here. I bought 50 more shares of BITO. So we are now outstanding at 250 shares of BITO, which is a massive position in the account. And then we started getting some payments, right? So QQQY paid us $25, IWMY paid us $31, QDTE, this was a weekly payment, paid us $32.54, so 56 cents a share. And then XDTE paid us another 35 cents a share, $16.81. So that's our newest position. Obviously, we spent $5,000 to acquire those shares, but it already paid us almost $50 in the first week. We will be getting paid this Friday as well, and we'll go over that. They have announced the dividend. And then let me scroll. We made our deposit each and every single week like we do of $100. And then JEPI came in and JEPQ came in. So those are lower payments, but I like those in the account. BITO comes in tomorrow, $146. So they paid $1.45, which is a massive dividend, and we received $146.10. If they pay out that same amount, let's just take the 145, we times it by the 250, we would be getting $362 next month when it comes to our dividend payment. So that's just on BITO. That's the kind of stuff that we are setting ourselves up for. And we are pushing towards that $1,000 a month. AGNC came in at $899, O 374, Stag coming in on August 15th at $148, and then PSEC later in the month at $351. One thing you haven't seen, but you will see, YieldMax has dividends coming in as well. The ex-dividend date, I believe, is tomorrow on August 8th, and then you will see those all pending here. That'll be a couple $100. I have that in the spreadsheet. We will go over that. But first things first, let's talk about what the heck I'm doing, right? So let's look at the buying part. I went with the plan. My goal was between $10,000 and $12,000 worth of margin because I wanted this $20,000 account to have $30,000 to $35,000 worth of assets. And then what I'm going to do is I turned off all my drip except for on QDTE and XDTE, which are my weekly payers. I want that drip to continue to grow and grow and grow, and then eventually I'll turn that off as well. I think I want to get them both to about 100 shares. And I'm going to let drip do that, and then I'm also going to be purchasing it. And then everything else, I'm funneling all that other dividend money back towards my margin. So the goal is to pay off the margin with all of my other assets that are earning monthly dividends and then we're going to grow the snowball on QDTE, and then we'll turn that off, and then we'll allow everything to pay off all the margins. So that's the goal as of right now. We have the $2,000 worth of, there we go. We have the $2,000 worth of free interest as of right now. Right now we're paying about $1.60 a day in interest. So, I mean, obviously we're going to pay a little bit of interest. If we were to take that 1.60 times 30, we're talking about less than $50 a month. And as you saw, that $5,000 worth of QDTE and XDTE we bought last week paid us $50 in 1 week. So QDTE and XDTE alone are paying for my margin in 1 week, and then the other 4 are complete, or the other 3 weeks of the month are complete profit plus all the other. So that's the way we're looking at it. That's what we're doing. We'll jump into the spreadsheet a little bit, but that's where we're looking. These are all the rates as of right now. I think these are going to continue to come down. Obviously, if I go over $50,000 worth of margin, then we get down to lower rates. But I do think rates are going to start dropping. The market has pulled back significantly as of late, and I think Jerome Powell is going to be forced to bring the rates down in September. So that's my thoughts. That's the way I'm playing it. And I want to use Robinhood's margin to get this dividend snowball really, really rolling. And again, as always, anybody that's a new investor, be very careful with margin. For me, if I need to transfer $10,000 out of my checking account to cover the margin and get completely out of it, I'll just do that. But for right now, I like to keep that money with trading options because I yield a much higher percentage. And so for this account alone, it's dividend focused. It's better for me to just use a margin. It's cheaper and it's not too expensive. So that's the way we're doing it, and we're gonna show it all real time here so you guys can see. You don't have to do it. You can see how it's gonna go. So buying power is still at 2,600. Again, I'm gonna keep putting that 100 every single week of fresh capital, and so that's what I'm gonna use to buy stocks every week. Everything else will just be drip and dividends. We have the CleanSpark puts out there. Those are in the money as of right now. CleanSpark pulled down from 20 a few weeks ago all the way down to like 12. So we're just going to continue monitoring that. They do have earnings this week, so it could go either way. But this week we are buying the only 2 assets that are on drip, and we are going to buy $50 worth of this, and we're going to buy, which is 1.2 shares. And then we're going to buy $50 worth of XDTE as well. So $50 worth of QDTE, that puts us to 58 shares. And then we're going to do $50 worth of XDTE. Come in here, and this will buy us basically 1 share, 0.989. Let's get that order in there. Boom. And that brings us to 48 shares there. So 48 shares of XDT, 58 shares of QDT. Another one we added to, you saw NVDY is up to 67, MSTY is up to 35, CONY is up to 67, BITO, as you saw, up to 250. We are down $984 or so on this, but let's keep in mind that we are receiving a truckload of dividends, right? If we come here and we go to dividends, 145 on the table coming, 95 there, 88, 34, 22, 13. Yeah. So lots of dividends there. This actually was, BITO just got absolutely beat up. As you probably saw, Bitcoin pulled back massively. And so we're down 20% the last week. So it's a buying opportunity. That's why I bought some more. Obviously we got assigned the 23 at the 23 strike. So that messed up our cost, but I still believe in Bitcoin long term, or at least for the next 12 months. I believe in it long term as well, but on the play, I think the next 12 months it'll yield really nice. So just a month ago we were trading almost 24 on BITO, and this stock has gone as high as 33. So I still think as Bitcoin gets back to that $70,000-$80,000 range, this is going to be a nice investment in terms of capital. And it's just going to keep printing money each and every single month. So like I said, next month, we'll be looking at probably a $300 payment, $350 payment on BITO alone. So those are the changes we made to the account. Let's jump into the spreadsheet. Let's look at the nitty gritty. One thing I did want to show you was on the QDTE position. Obviously, if we have the drip on this, it's going to get crazy. We have 57 shares now. If we get roughly the average we had before, we're talking about dripping ourselves over a share. I want to try to get to a share every single week. We're definitely over a share a month, but the goal is to get it to drip itself 1 share every single week. And then, like I said, once we start getting towards that 100 count, I might turn off drip and have it just pay the margin. The margin as of this morning before we made the purchase was 10,529. We started with 10,673. We paid back from the dividend so far $144. We're only 1.35% complete. And the daily interest yesterday was $1.43. It went up today to $1.60. So I will just keep track of that. At the end of the month, what I'll do when they actually charge me for the margin, then I'll just go in and put the average, and then I'll add that to this as well, so we can see that how much margin we'll end up paying, how much interest we'll end up paying in the overall, and how this goes. So it might be a hefty hill to climb, but you got to remember, if we're making, let's say, what's this, 10,529, we divide that by, let's say, 750, we're talking about 14 months. So I could pay this entire thing off in 14 months at the 750 a month. I think we can get to 750 a month, and I'm going to show you how, right? So right now, just from the ones that we just went over, we're sitting at $288.98. BITO being a big payer there, and then obviously we've already gotten some QDTE payments and QQQY payments and XDTE payments. So $288 for August so far, but look what's on deck. We had some distributions that were announced this week. NVDY is paying $1.25 a share. MSTY is $1.94. CONY $1. AMZY 47 cents, OARK 26 cents, SQY 63 cents, Tesla 96 cents, QDTE 51 cents, and that's just for this week. And we actually just increased the share count to by a share on each of those. And then XDTE is 41 cents. So all in all, between all of those, this is just what's pending. We have $336 worth of pending dividends coming. So we're already breaking $500. And that, I mean, because you take the 288 plus this 336, we're already breaking $500 worth of dividend income for the month of August, and that'll be here within the next 2 weeks. Not to mention we have QDT and XDT on drip. We have some other dividends that will be coming in later in the month, and we are going to continue adding our $100 a week. So the snowball is going to get big. Again, I think we can get to that $750 a month here in the next month or two. Obviously, we made the account go on supercharged with the margin, and so it'll be fun to watch. But you can see what our front runners are: NVDY and BITO as always, and then a bunch of the yield max funds. Options income for July sitting at 528. Haven't sold any for August, so we will just continue to watch that. And then yeah, these are the numbers. So we've already beat August of last year in 2023. At 288 so far, 113 from last year. And again, the goal was $4,000 for this year. We're gonna smash it. I know we are, especially with the margin that we put on. Here's the graph. You can see we are on just an elevator ride up, which is really cool to see. You can see the blue elevator from last year. We just slowly built and built and built and built. This year, the same thing, slowly built and built and built. And that 600 mark is going to get smashed, I'm telling you, especially when we get into next month and BITO starts paying and these QDT drips start really dripping. So that's where we're sitting in the account. Lots of paychecks coming, passive income paychecks coming up here soon with the new Yield Max distribution announcement and the new QDTE and XDTE announcement that came out just this morning. So thank you everybody for tuning in on this journey. It's going to be a fun one. I will keep you updated each and every single week. I try to get the videos done every single Wednesday, and we'll grow this dividend snowball together. If you are tuning in, don't forget to drop a like or a comment or something. Support us small YouTubers, and appreciate it as always. Happy investing, and we'll catch you next week.